Everybody, this is James,
Marco,
Nabil,
and Mikey.
And this is the Movie Pals podcast number 230. Today we're doing a review of Spider-Man Brand New Day, as well as reviewing Nabil's pick for the Action Vault. Let's get into it.
What the? Dr. Banner, you found a way to suppress mutating DNA, right?
If you see me with this stuff, run.
So could you get rid of the bad aspects but keep the good?
How would you decide what parts of nature are good or bad?
Well, sorry about that.
You're not one of my students, are you?
It appears we're faced with a threat we can't control. One we can't even see.
Spider-Man Brand New Day, sitting at a 90% on Rotten Tomatoes with a 98% audience score. The premise to this movie is a forgotten Peter Parker lives alone as a full-time Spider-Man until mounting pressure triggers a dangerous change and a powerful new enemy emerges. Runtime for this one is 2 hours and 25 minutes. Directed by Destin Daniel Cretton, who did Just Mercy in 2019, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings in 2021, and Wonder Man 2026, the Disney Plus show that just got canceled. RIP.
Yeah.
Written by Chris McKenna and Eric Summers, who also did Spider-Man Homecoming in 2017, Ant-Man and the Wasp in 2018, Spider-Man Far From Home in 2019, and Spider-Man No Way Home in 2021. Based on the Marvel comic book by Stan Lee and Steve Ditko to the uninitiated, with a budget of $225 million and a box office of $932 million worldwide, $320 million of which being domestic. Released July 31st this year, movie is still in theaters. Starring Tom Holland, who comes back as Peter Parker / Spider-Man, Zendaya, who comes back as MJ, Sadie Sink as the current antagonist, Jacob Batalon comes back as Ned Leeds, John Bernthal as Frank Castle / Punisher, Florence Pugh as Yelena Belova / Black Widow, Tramel Tillman as William Metzger, Mark Ruffalo coming back as Bruce Banner / Hulk, and Michael Mando reprising his role of Matt Gargan and now also playing Scorpion. So we're going to go over some quick impressions, brief thoughts of the movie, and how your movie theater experience was. Also, how you saw this, whether it's a normal Screen X or D-Box, which uses haptics or seats that move with the action. And we'll start with our super duper Spider-Man fan, Nabilionaire.
It was great. I had a great time. I liked the story. It was I think it was a grounded city story, like just really based in New York. It wasn't too fantastical in the sense of everything else that's been going on in the MCU. It was a good mix of interactions with the different characters that they had on over there rather than somebody big. And then I also really enjoyed the fact that the story just seemed to take off right after the other one from the last film pretty quickly, to the point where you got to see a bit of a montage and see what he was doing to become Spider-Man, and then you get into where he's at today and how he's living. So all that was really good. My theater experience was really awesome. I got to see it. I don't know if everybody, I think we all did this, but I saw it in the I don't know what they call this, but it has like side screen essentially.
Screen X. Yeah.
Is that what Screen X? Okay. So yeah, it's a regular theater, and then they've got like the side screens to kind of expand you and immerse you a bit more. It was pretty good. I want to say I thought it was going to be the entire film. It was not. It was mostly in the cityscape scenes where he's like swinging through New York, where you get to see a lot of that. But it was fun. It did feel immersive, and you did feel like you were swinging with him when you'd see that. So it was a good time. And my theater was packed, so especially for the Wednesday night premiere. So it was a good time.
And with that, we go with James.
Yeah, me, Mikey, and Marco saw it. Oh, Marco sat a few seats or made a couple friends. But it was fun. I had a good time. It was a good Spider-Man film. All these have been pretty solid, and I like the way this one was shot and the direction it went. A little bit darker story. I thought it was really well done with the Peter Parker kind of Spider-Man aspect of everything, kind of just showing a little bit aspects of both of his lives. Is not so, technically he's like an adult now, I guess. But it's been 4 years since the last events of the last movie, which is cool. And he's just living his life in New York, being Spider-Man, just kind of like how he kind of always wanted it, I guess. Now seeing it, so yeah, it was fun. We saw it in Screen X. Screen X is okay to me. You're not supposed to like focus on the side. The whole point is like you sit a little bit closer, you go in the middle, and it's more your perifs get it. I think is kind of how you feel it.
It's weirder when they're in like in the room and you're just supposed to be enveloped in the same room. I think it works well when you're in motion. So I liked it when they were in the city moving around, but when they had it projected in a scene where he's kind of just in a room,
like at the desk, and then part of his body's like,
yeah, exactly.
I was like, whoa, Peter, what's wrong with your left arm there, buddy? Okay, you're freaking out a little bit. Hotter than fucking hell in ours. I felt like if I've never been to Nam, but it was probably close to what that felt like for a lot of our GIs back in '68. So yeah, for the most part, I lost about 6-7 pounds of sweat.
But Mikey, what about you? How was your experience? What do you think of the movie?
Like was previous said, me, James, and Marco were in the same theater, so kind of the same thing. I mean, Screen X is Screen X. I've been to it a few other times, and I don't know. I don't really feel like it adds too much to the film. I don't think it's really needed. It's kind of someone said it was a gimmick. It's kind of gimmicky, but it doesn't take away from anything from the film either. So it's not like you can't just enjoy the film. So it's not like you want to avoid it. It's just, it's there, and it's just there. As far as the film goes, though, I really like this one. I thought it was a really good addition to the 3 movies we already had. It felt a little different. I think someone said it was grounded. I do agree with that. It's a little darker. It's just a lot of things that would make you almost relatable to Spider-Man, which is weird to say because he's kind of like the neighborhood Spider-Man. That's kind of his thing, right? He's kind of supposed to be that relatable superhero kind of thing. But this movie kind of plays it off a little bit better. I feel like they used the characters they had in it pretty well as well. But yeah, they used what they had to the max. And it was just a really interesting story. And everything kind of pulled it off pretty well. I liked it a lot.
Right on. Well, as mentioned before, I went to go see it with James and Mikey. Saw it in Screen X. I'm just going to start off by saying, I don't think Screen X is for me, man. I'm just going to say it. It sucked. That aspect. I thought about it. I really sat on it. And I was like, I don't think I really want to watch another movie in Screen X again. I was expecting it to look a little better and not with that like projection look. At times I found it really distracting. And I was like, oh man, I was
Did it make you
hoping
motion
for a
sickness
sharper
at all?
image. What's that?
Did it make you motion
No.
sickness at all? It almost got me a little bit of this one. I was like, ooh, I'm getting a little motion sickness.
It didn't do that. It just made it low-key annoying. Like it felt like the movie just didn't fit in the screen, and I was watching like the right and left side on a shittier screen. And I was like, man.
See, you were looking at it too much.
Yeah,
you might have been
it was
dehydrated,
distracting.
James. That's
Truthfully,
what it is. You probably just like dying from all the sweat. Just
Bro, I was
the
smoking
heat didn't
cigarettes.
help.
I was smoking cigarettes. Like it's an old theater that Marco would have went back to in the 70s. I was like,
oh yeah, it felt like old Cinema 6, like back in the 90s, watching Jurassic Park, premiere day, and it's hot as fuck. They got no AC.
I was
like,
between
holy
Mikey
shit.
and like the second largest man in that theater too, and I was just like this whole movie.
let me help.
Oh,
myself.
I was
Mikey
sitting next to
runs-
the chattiest couple ever. Like every single fucking scene. She was like,
looked over.
"Oh
I
my
was like-
god, oh that's
Yeah.
sweet." And I look over and I'm just like, "Are you gonna do that every fucking time? Every fucking scene?"
Every reveal, they
I-
were like, oh, wow.
Yes,
I couldn't hear
and I
them
was like,
because
"Oh my
Mikey
God."
once again created a barrier to my left that resonated heat so badly that I literally kept doing this, and I was like flicking sweat off me, bro. And I was like, "Fuck."
I wish I had that. I wish I had that. But in a nutshell, kind of like these guys said, it's a more grounded, serious tone for this movie, a more grown up tone for Peter Parker, and I really enjoyed that. Really good action. I think it was filmed pretty well as well. So pretty well as
know
well,
what?
man. I did it too.
Kind-
See, Mike, it's contagious.
Coming
Sorry.
back to screen, it's weird because this movie theoretically, the reason why we saw it is because we saw the Prime early screening because they didn't get the IMAX stuff until now this week apparently. Would have been cool if they had told us that ahead of time. But the movie was supposedly shot for Screen X, but it was like, was it though?
It was better than the previous ones I've been to. And I
See-
think because I've been to Screen X before previously, I knew that I didn't have to pay attention to the sides. Because I did the first time I went to Screen X, I was starting to look around a little bit, and I didn't have
Was
to
it
do
when
it
we
this
saw
time.
Crimes of Grindelwald, I think? Something like that? Or
Morbius as well.
Morbius was
You
second.
You saw Morbius
Yeah.
in Screen X? Oh my gosh.
Wow.
We've seen
No,
a
we
couple
only
of them.
saw
I
it
think I
because
would've killed
it was
myself.
wasn't that free? That's why? Wasn't that like a
Yeah,
early
we
screening?
got a free, it was like we went to like some event that was free.
Yeah,
so.
I will say the best Screen X movie I've ever seen was Indiana Jones, the last
Wow.
one that came out. It was really good on Screen X, actually. When I saw it the second time after IMAX, I took my dad to see it on Screen X, and it was that movie because somebody had posted on the Reddit posts like, hey, this one's actually really good. And I will say that one still is the best one I've ever seen on Screen X. So
The only other film I saw on Screen X was Wicked, and that was fine. It was a
monkeys
surprise
just
to see
coming?
it. Yeah, they were
I'm just
fine.
gonna leave that to the boys. I don't think I ever want to see another Screen X movie again. So
we said the
I'll just do
same
it.
thing, but sometimes the times hit the right time, right?
I'll just do XD or IMAX or
Well,
Actually,
I mean, my
Dolby
theater was
Vision, whatever.
comfortable. I had leather seats. There was recliners. I think my heated seat was on. I had to turn that off because it was just warm. It was.
I mean, I'm
room.
sweating so bad right now, Nabil, that I'm panicking a little bit. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. I'm panicking right now. It is so fucking hot right now.
Lastly, I don't think the dilapidated look of the Edwards Theater that this was in helped the experience, Nabil.
Oh, is this in Edwards too? Jeez,
Yeah,
guys.
dude.
Yeah, dude.
They're doing everything but fixing those seats. Is what they're doing.
Pretty much. I was like, they put more money onto these side screens than these seats, but whatever. I think I'm sitting on dry puke. Anyway, we'll get into the story because in this movie,
No, I want to talk
and
more
it's
about
not a
the
spoiler.
theater.
That could be an entire episode just talking about that theater experience and how fucking hot it was. But we'll go into the story of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Not really a spoiler, but it's 4 years later. We're seeing Peter really take on to the persona of Spider-Man and really own that and take on the great responsibility that Aunt May told him about in the previous movie, fighting all his rogues, and then all of a sudden being triggered through events of these new powers that he's growing, like greater sense. His eyes get black, and now natural webbing's coming out of his wrist, a la Tobey Maguire Spider-Man style. At the same time, a new villain has emerged that can somehow go into the minds of other people, and we don't know what this person wants. We just know that this power is scaring the crap out of New York, and even the Punisher is involved. So what worked best here, guys? And do you like how Spider-Man was shown in this version? We'll leave this one open.
Well, I like that Spider-Man really figured out that he's from New York because he got a heavy Queen's access in this one before.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere.
I was like, wow, he's really been here for a minute now.
Oh, Tom got a dialect coach.
Yeah, right. It was cool. I think that one of the best parts for me, like as far as the character is concerned, is that he's really feels like he's a part of the city now. The cops love him. The city loves him. Everybody's embraced him. He seems to be more connected to just everything that's going on. Whereas even in the other films, everything just seemed kind of bigger, with the exception, I guess, of Homecoming. But even then, with Iron Man being in there, that took a little bit away from it. But this really seemed like it was, a movie about Spider-Man and the city of New York. And that's a lot of how the comics have been, that at least the ones that I'd read. And so I really enjoyed seeing that on screen and really feeling that, we're just seeing a story of Spider-Man being in New York, dealing with local things and nothing that's going to cause havoc to the whole world, where the Avengers have to come in and step in, but they're not available. So I guess Spider-Man's got to take care of it.
He's your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. Finally.
But I think that's what I liked about it, is that it was a Spider-Man movie, not like an MCU like edition, right? So it's like they did their own thing with this one here.
Good point.
I also feel like that they've already done most of the Spider-Man villains already, so they kind of have to think of something new. And this was something kind of new. And obviously we won't.
I don't know, Mikey.
Stuff here,
they disposed some of them in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Well,
It's
yeah,
in the trailer.
It's like the trailer kind of shows you all the stuff in the first 5 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
So it didn't really tell you any much. But because of that, though, I think it's something kind of fresh. You get a nice look of like Spider-Man and what he like could be going on. And so I think that kind of worked out for me in terms of, there's this big bad. He's kind of new, and there's potential there for like a buddy movie with the Punisher, which their chemistry worked out pretty well for me too. I didn't know how they were going to feel because they're kind of opposites, but I guess like opposites attract kind of thing. They played off each other pretty well, and it kind of just progressed the character even more because like they're like, hey, I saved you, and then like they're just their banter back and forth kind of just helped out. What Spider-Man was already like, he was kind of like lifting him up a little bit. That's almost like the comedy relief. And it just pushed the storyline along. I just like what they did with it. I like, because it was not connected to everything. It didn't have to be connected to everything. It was just a nice, fun, little isolated story that just worked because it was compact.
I liked how it touched on how the changes he was going was kind of being triggered by like trauma or by high intense situations. And it's kind of showing like he hasn't really reached his full potential yet. Just when he thought he did, like something new is happening to him that's going to push him to another level, and him having to learn to deal with that when he thinks he's got everything like pretty much all like figured out and everything. And just when you think like, oh, he's been Spider-Man for like, 4 or 6 years, if you include his high school time or whatever, he should have this all, down pat. And then boom, all of a sudden, kind of similar to Spider-Man 2, the Raimi version, but it does its own thing that I think, helps out. And I'm trying not to spoil things right now, so I'm being kind of vague. I think that's pretty much all we can talk on the story without really getting into spoilers, unless you guys want to mention anything else or save it for the spoilers. Well, let's get into the characters here. We already talked about Spider-Man, Peter Parker, kind of the things that we like about him. You guys can mention anything else you do like about this version versus the previous 3. What did you guys think about MJ and Ned or the Punisher or anyone else you guys want to talk about?
I thought it was cool, like this version we get, even though there are like, seems like all the Spider-Man always have a lot of cameos, right? But it's felt like more lived in, which I really liked. So it was like part of like the city and the universe, which I liked, So it was a cool like sequence, even seeing like the whole going to Black Widow for information and the Punisher's out there too.
It didn't feel forced either.
No,
it felt
not at
really
all.
woven into the story.
It would have been cool if Daredevil was there too, but that would have probably been doing too much. But
he
or
couldn't
Kingpin,
go see
or
my boy
Kingpin.
in jail, but whatever.
Yeah, something like that. But I like that it was more like it felt kind of lived in, which was a nice feeling of it all. I would say MJ and Ned kind of take a minor role in this one. Big, situations because obviously they forgot who Peter was, and the movie's him kind of. A lot of the trauma he gets is he's pretty much depressed because he has no friends. He's living just Spider-Man 24/7, and he just doesn't. He wants that connection again. He's kind of seeing them from afar, live out a life that he thinks that. He should have been part of probably, which I like that whole kind of storyline.
You guys, I was going to say, you guys think that was kind of the point because we're really seeing it through Peter's eyes and we're seeing them really only through the social media that he's watching it. And it's kind of, we're supposed to kind of like feel like his loneliness and how isolated he is ever since he made everyone forget who he was. I don't know. Did you guys see it as anything else?
No, it hits the nail on the head for me. I mean, they just took side parts because Spider-Man is who he is. Like they no longer remind him. Or like they no longer have a memory of him, so they can't really be part of his life anymore. So it's kind of like you can tell like there's some pieces like she's wearing some jewelry that he bought him in previous films, like they're still there, but they just don't realize it even came from him in terms of that. So there's even events that happened in the past they just don't know where that came from. They just assume it's something they bought from themselves. So it's like small things like that, but they feel like they had to take that back in because. If they were involved as much as they were in previous films, well, they would have to start knowing who Peter Parker was again, and he doesn't want that to happen.
Right.
Also, there's kind of it was kind of nice to see that the bad guy kind of uses that old relationship against him at some point, and I thought that was a kind of a pretty brutal scene. We'll talk about it a little bit more in spoilers, but that whole like being alone and feeling kind of depressed is used against him. Because the villain kind of knows what's happening in his life a little bit. So,
yeah, I kind of like that aspect too. Any thoughts on how this was shot? Because the look of this film seems a little bit different because they shot more practical effects, specifically the web swing effects. Did that work for you guys, or did you prefer the previous way they did it?
It actually looks like a movie, which is nice.
Yeah,
it's really great. I mean, No Way Home was the last one, right?
Yeah, No Way Home, yeah.
And that was shot during COVID. I get it. So they had a lot of people weren't with each other when they did so. But that one, revisiting that one, you see a lot of green screen, and it's like, oh, it's super obvious for even shots where like, dude, you really had a green screen that,
Yeah.
This one is, I think, shot a lot better, honestly.
I said, well, a lot of it is also like on location, which is great.
Yeah.
I'm sure we've all seen
to a point.
Yeah. But we've seen a lot of like the videos of them actually shooting in New York and things. And then to what James is saying, it feels grittier a little bit too. Like it just feels more down to earth, which is cool. Again, that kind of goes back to him being a part of the city and stuff. You really kind of feel that more connectedness to like they were actually on the ground or something. So versus to what James is saying, all the green screen and they're just
Yeah.
It helped with the action. Having the actual real suit that he actually put on rather than having like a mocap suit, I think helped with the movements and also with the actions. They felt more fluid. He felt more Spider-Man like. Felt like he got to show off a little bit more, and it felt more impactful when he was in those fights. Like you could actually like feel it as opposed to, previous fights, at least in my opinion. I don't know if you guys agree.
Yeah, I was saying the suit was kind of cool. It was like a combination of like Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's, which I thought was cool because they obviously rubbed up. They obviously rubbed off on him and influenced the way that he designed his own suit. So
because he interacted with them, right? Like he saw them, and they bring that back because there's even a mention of I think we already mentioned about his organic web shooters, and like he references his interaction with Tobey Maguire Spider-Man and saying like, okay, like I've kind of already talked through this. Yeah, Peter 3 or whatever you call him. So like there's that it's good that they have a little bit of that callback of incorporating his experience of that into this film, like the suit design and saying that he wanted something more practical. So yeah, that was pretty neat.
Kind of off topic, did you guys like that he still had some tech involved? Because I know the end of the previous film made it look like he was just going to be more bare bones, more just him and his wits. But I mean, he still had the fabricator and he's got all his computer tech and stuff. Did that work for you guys still?
How did he afford a lot of this stuff?
That's what I kept wondering. Does
he have a job that we don't know about?
I know of.
Well, at one point he's wearing a pizza shirt or like one of the bodega shirts, so maybe he had a job there.
I was saying it was from Aunt May's life insurance policy. He just
I was gonna say I think maybe that.
Yeah.
It's either that or the two theories are that Tony Stark left him a life insurance policy as well too, because he had kind of a soft heart for him, and another is that Spider-Man has monetized the YouTube channel that has all his clips, and that's kind of how he.
I mean, that's a stretch, but
yeah. But I mean, those are just fan theories.
It is funny that like the traditional one is supposed to be like really into photography and wants to work for the Bugle and all this stuff, and it's like I ain't seen one like lick of his interest in anything outside of just crime fighting.
If they randomly start bringing up in the next film that he wants to be a photographer, I'll be like, that's out of nowhere, because none of these films ever hinted any of that.
I'm like, you started 30 years old. You're like, you know what? I think I'm okay at taking photos, kind of.
So that's pretty much all we can say right now without going to spoilers. So I think we're going to go ahead into our overall ratings for now and whether or not we'd recommend it. So if you haven't seen the movie after our ratings and recommendations, go ahead and go watch the movie, then come back and listen to our spoiler section as we will reveal all the hidden secrets of this movie. So with that said, Nabilionaire, what do you rate Spider-Man Brand New Day, and would you recommend it?
Oh yeah, I give this 5 stars. I enjoyed this film. I have no real qualms with it, and I would totally recommend it. And I definitely think, as much as it's busy right now and being sold out, you should definitely go see this in the theater. And maybe not Screen X, but they are coming it out with IMAX apparently next week, so that'd be probably a fun way to see it. But highly recommend.
Nice. Mikey, what do you rate Spider-Man Brand New Day, and would you recommend it?
I give this one 4 stars. It's a definite see in the theaters, in my opinion. Check it out. I'll probably go see it again if I can, probably in IMAX, just see if it's any better. I heard a lot of it was shot in IMAX, so would like to take a peek at that.
Oh yeah. James, what do you rate Spider-Man Brand New Day, and would you recommend it?
I gave this one 4 stars. I found it a great Spider-Man movie. It was really fun. I think the last one I still liked a bit better just because of the kind of events surrounding it, I guess, for me, honestly. Just because it was one of the first big ones after Top Gun Maverick during COVID. So that one always kind of holds a special place. So not bad though. Really solid movie.
I give this one 4.5 stars. I think it's still up there with the previous one. I think they could be interchangeable for me because I do agree with James. No Way Home, it was pretty special when it came out. But this one is just as fantastic. I enjoyed every second of it. Not a perfect movie, but it's still one that's worth watching for the summer. Go see it in theaters if you can. It's going to come out on IMAX like we just mentioned. So now's your chance to go see it in IMAX and let us know what you think. With that said, we are going to move into spoilers. Okay, so the big reveal of the movie that I'm pretty sure is all over the internet right now. So hide your kids, hide your phones, disconnect. Is that Sadie Sink plays Jean Grey of the X-Men. That's right. Well, she's not in the X-Men right now, but she is Jean Grey of the mutants. And she is possessing people all over New York City because she is trying to find out her missing sister, Sarah, as they were orphaned when they got their mutant powers. Their mother just kind of ditched them. They were on their own. And they were captured by Tramiel Tillman's William Metzger. He got a hold of Sarah, did shitty experiments on her for her telekinesis powers. And so now Jean Grey, years later, is trying to find her and using her powers in a very nefarious, questionable way in order to find her, and gives no shits whatsoever, messing with Spider-Man because he's getting in the way. And as we mentioned before, using his trauma and his anxieties and his depression all against him, his loneliness against him, weaponizing that against them. And that's what we're left to deal with. So with that said, what were your guys' thoughts of Sadie Sink's reveal as Jean Grey?
That everybody's theater collectively gasp and jizz themselves at the same time, because everybody in mind, I was like,
clapped.
I was like, Jesus, guys.
I'm not sure. I had so much sweat in my eyes at this point, Nabil. I had to blink it out, and I was like, who again? I was having like echoes going off like a fucking grenade went off. I was like, what's going on?
Yeah, the whole theater clapped and roared and cheered. I'll admit, I cheered. I already knew. I mean, it was pretty obvious.
I think we all kind of knew, right?
I'm gonna tell you right now, I did not know that Jean Grey was in this, and I really didn't care. I was like, it's fine. It's a great way to introduce X-Men, but I was just like, it's like, cool. So she's not MJ. She's.
I mean, she
like
could have been
Mary.
Typhoid Mary, also, which is another mutant that has similar powers. But
to a point, but yeah.
So I mean, it was cool to see, but I thought it was more funny just how the remember that time when we all went to James. I don't know if everybody here went together, but I know you and I went with my wife to go see Sword Art Online in the theater, and the way, or not Sword Art Online, it was a Dragon Ball Z film. It was a Dragon Ball Z film, and there was something, I don't remember what it was, that happened on the screen, and a bunch of guys just made some weird noises after it happened, and that's what it reminded me.
I think that's when he went to God Saiyan mode or something.
Yeah, something like that, and I was just like, oh gosh, we are not in the right crowd for this.
I remember I was talking the whole movie, and I looked over, I said, is this a big deal or something?
Yeah.
And Nabil was like, yes. And I was like, okay. All right.
Oh, man.
That's how that felt when that reveal came out to me. It was like, okay, that's cool. And that, while everybody around me was just, trying to find some tissues to clean themselves up with.
It felt good to have it confirmed, That's the thing. Is we all kind of knew, but we wanted the movie to confirm it for us. At least that's kind of what I thought. I thought it was really cool. And
Nabil texted me. He's like, they already sent, the Beast was in the post-credit scene of the
I was
Marvels.
going to say
And I was
Beast.
like, okay, relax. I know. And Professor X showed up in the fucking multiverse movie.
In
I
the
get it.
multiverse, yeah.
Mikey woke up and he was like, what the fuck happened? No, I'm just kidding.
I said
he got to him too.
I said awaken.
Fucking, what is her name? Is it Rogue? Was it Rogue? Rogue?
What do you guys think this could mean for the future of the MCU?
One thing though, she did
All
really good
obvious
as Jean
answers.
Grey though. I would
She
say,
did,
by the way,
yeah.
I thought she was she's a good actress. So,
Yeah.
I
There's
mean,
always a story
obviously,
too.
there's an X-Men movie coming out, so I'd assume probably
I
going
think
to
the
be in that
character
one.
I will add to, as far as the lore of Jean Grey, I think it was a good way to introduce her as a villain in this. And like she's done some bad things. It's because she's young and she's angry and she's, you get to see the backstory of it. But I mean, technically still a bad guy, at least in this
I'm
case.
glad they went that route because she kind of started off kind of unhinged in some iterations and stuff. Mikey, what do
almost
you
all of
think?
them,
Is that your Jean Grey?
Yeah,
Or do you
she
prefer
worked for
the
me.
classic?
I mean, I think she did a really good job.
Obviously, I mean, the Mutant Saga is next, and the X-Men movie's probably already in the works. They're already, casting people left and right. We are in the spoiler section, so we are going to say that Samara Weaving has recently been cast as Emma Frost, so we're pretty excited about that as well. Little by little, they're all coming together. We talked briefly about Jean Grey doing some crazy shit to Peter Parker and using his life against them. And one of the things that she used against Peter Parker was MJ discovering who he was And before we talk about this next point, I want to talk about the fake out. What did you guys think about that fake out where she possessed MJ and made Peter think that she remembered him? That was pretty.
I turned to James
dark.
and said, "No, that's not her." So
Yeah, we
didn't
both-
think
we
that
both-
at all.
yeah.
We
Before,
knew
I was like-
right away.
And see, I was the opposite. My wife looked at me and said, I already knew this as soon as it started. And I was looking, it's like, what? I didn't catch it. So
This is probably when I took off my undershirt at this point because I was just
just,
Yeah,
he said he had to
but-
wring it out real quick.
I
Just,
ring it
hold on,
out and I
guys.
said, "Hold on, boys, that ain't it. That ain't the one right there,
He
boys."
said, him, Mikey, here's some more water for your
I
cup.
just saw the Odyssey. This is Trojan horse. This is Trojan horse right here.
I was with you, Nabil. It faked me out, and I was like, but it made that reveal even worse when she
Yeah.
started taunting him and making fun of him. I was like, damn, you could see the heartbreak in his eyes. I was like, that's pretty messed up.
Nabil was like, "Stop being a bully."
I'm glad they went there. I'm glad that they weren't afraid to go there. It just shows growth for this franchise and for this character.
Yeah, she says like
That's-
she has no memories of you at all in her head, and I was like, "Damn."
Which is how it should be. They
gut
didn't do
punch.
some weird like red herring.
True
where
love
they're just
kiss
like,
thing.
Yeah.
She even brings it
I
up.
was
She's like, "Did you really think it's gonna happen?" I was like, "No," but
yeah.
And-
maybe.
And it works because, I mean,
Go
Jean
there.
Grey physically, I mean, not yet. She hasn't trained with Professor X. She's not really a physical threat. So the only way she could really defeat him is that way. And it was, man, she dominated that mental fight. So we fast forward to the real reveal where MJ actually finds Peter's letter from the end of No Way Home where he tells her everything. What were you guys' thoughts on that when she really finds out?
it was a nice, dramatic moment. I like that one where she tells him to take off his mask finally. Because I mean,
Take it off, bro.
yeah, it's like, bro, come on, dude.
You've been carrying this letter around. I know you probably didn't intend for her to see it, but you obviously wanted her to see it.
Yeah, how'd you leave it? How'd you leave it, big guy? And then the awkward "Can you take me home" thing. I was like, yikes.
Yeah, that was actually kind of funny. I was like, and just the silence of him swinging back the whole time, no music or anything, just having to get her back because it's just awkward. That's funny.
He's a nice guy though. He's
She
like,
also invites him up.
And it,
She does,
right? It shows that he really, does care about her. It's not just, fake out. He's like, no, I'm
yeah,
I'm
because
gonna care about you no
he's
matter
still
what.
in love with her, even though she's not in love with him. But it's like one of those things, like, okay, and
Who
then that's
cares?
how he gets to meet Ned again and build Lego
Yeah.
with him and stuff like that.
That's what I was worried about, and that's kind of who I thought Sadie Sink was going to be. Was what's her name? Felicia Harding.
Black Cat?
I thought she was going to be Black Cat, and she was coming in as a
No.
love interest. Is what I thought was going to happen there, and I was like, man, we're just going to get rid of MJ already because they're married now. What's going on in real life? Like that can't be okay. Keep her in the movie.
No, I mean,
No.
Black Cat doesn't have psychic powers, so
Yeah.
No.
there was a
Case
rumor
is
that she
true.
could be like the real MJ before they, start showing her like,
Yeah,
oh,
there
it's
was that
Mary
too.
Jane Watson actually, maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't think
But no
she
powers.
exists in this world.
No powers.
Yeah, no powers by her. He gets to meet his Filipino best friend though again, which is cool.
That was a kind of a cool little scene too of them hanging out and
Yeah.
Because they don't really
Reminiscent of
know
the
each
older-
other, but they do know each other. Like deep down, they like have the same tendencies. So
They're
it's kinda
soulmates,
nice.
Mikey. They're
Right.
soulmates.
they really are.
And like the
So-
other credit scene too. I know we'll talk about it later, but
We-
worked out.
We fast forward to Jean Grey uses the Hulk, as we mentioned. Hulk goes crazy. Peter, Spider-Man, along with the help of the Punisher, who, all he does is grunts and then shoot bullets at at the Hulk.
At an indestructible creature.
Yeah. Yeah. They find a way to finally stabilize Jean Grey because Peter invents a stabilizer based off of the Hulk's little thing that he carries on his arm.
Based
to
off a
keep him from the
conversation.
Hulk.
Doesn't have any text specs, by the way. Again, I want to go
Ba-
back to
yeah,
saying
basically.
he just talked to him about it and then said, I can do this and make it smaller.
Well, Nabil,
Because-
he eyed it, bro. He eyed it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
Yeah.
remember he did that for Doc Ock in the previous one, so he kind of has like a little experience with that, and I guess it's a stretch.
That's what I was
but
thinking
whatever.
too.
Well,
That's what I was
yeah,
thinking
so
too. Although the other
they-
Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker helped him do that.
Right.
yeah. So they capture her, Jean Grey. Metzger's all thankful and everything, and then we find out this dude ain't who he seems he is. Betrayal. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I saw that coming a mile away. It was
Oh,
very
yeah.
obvious.
They make
Bro,
it
he's
pretty
got the
obvious.
hand with him. I'm like,
Yeah.
Every movie they're
He's
showing
like, they're
Damage
good
Control is
now.
a bad guy. Like and the TV shows, Damage Control is a terrible organization. Like, who believed that they were good? If you had watched anything else, even the first Spider-Man movie, if you had watched anything else, you would have known that he was, up to no good.
So yeah, it was obvious, but it works for the story. Really, I guess the red herring was really kind of who Sadie Sink's character was going to be. People were still guessing, but most of us knew it was Jean Grey. But we do know that Metzger eventually may lead to something else, maybe in the Mutant Saga. Who knows? Because the DODC is still around. Thoughts on how the movie ended with Peter basically, he can't out-mental Jean Grey. She's obviously a powerful telepath. She's got the whole freaking island of Manhattan frozen and then some. And he finally lets her in his mind, and basically has her listen to the heart-to-heart talk that Aunt May had with him when she first discovered he was Spider-Man. And then they make amends, and then he gets shot, and then
he got
got. Punisher took the shot like he said he would. I'm glad he didn't back down. And then they part their ways. What did you guys think of that?
It was cool that she kept him alive the whole time.
That was nice.
I think that was a nice little touch. Like, she was breathing for him the whole time.
He literally took a bullet for her. So, the fact that she's like, I at least have one friend. So let me keep him alive. So
Even though she already killed the guy that got run over by the car, but it's okay.
He might have been. You don't know if he's dead.
Honestly,
though, right?
I don't think
maybe.
he died. I mean, I've seen
It's
people
like-
get hit by a car before.
It's like he probably can't walk anymore, but
Attempted murder. Maybe he gets that. Yeah.
I mean, it's less of a crime of what she's going to eventually do one day. So,
I mean,
Mikey, where do you think she was heading on that bus?
Maybe it's the mansion, the X-Men mansion.
Probably. Yeah. Probably. Do you guys think? Okay, I don't.
No, I don't think that at all. But
no,
she helped Spider-Man help save his life and everything, and we found out that she really wasn't the bad guy. But do you guys think that they let her a little too much off the hook? Like, they were just like, "Oh, okay, you were only like freezing people left and right and possessing them." But
I think she escaped early. She's like on the run.
I think the Punisher may have let her off the hook a little bit, only because he knew that she was saving him. But because otherwise, I think he would have then also still tried to kill her for letting him, shoot him, Peter. So that maybe, but the police, they would. I mean, like James said, she's on the run, but she just kept. What was it, 33 or 37 feet and
33
nearby, 33 feet, close enough to keep him alive. No one noticed. It's fine.
You guys find it weird that like there's police all around Spider-Man, but then like the Punisher is literally in the same room as him, and they don't arrest him or anything like that?
Because the movie has to happen, Mikey. That's why.
I thought the authorities were a little too friendly to the superheroes, especially like right after, spoilers, the ending of season 2 of Daredevil Born Again. Like, they just went through that horror deal, and you think they'd still be kind of on edge with essentially vigilantes, especially because they're not sanctioned like the new Avengers.
Cops, not the good cops. We only got to see the good cops.
Yeah, we saw the corrupt ones. They had the Punisher logo on, remember?
See, they're all done. See, they're all gone. But I just wish there was just a little bit of that, tension that's like, hey, okay, we're not going to stop you, but also we don't trust you type thing. But I get
At least some hesitation, right? Just something.
There you go. Yes, that's the word.
That's going to be in the Batman Part 2, guys. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
And sorry, James, I kind of cut you off. What were you saying?
Oh, it's like, did she unlock the memories in a way? Because I mean, at the end, Ned does realize, or does he? Like, he realizes it's Peter, right? He hears her call him Peter. He's like, Spider, his name's Peter. But then later, when he kind of remembers the handshake, did it kind of unlock something? And the same way, like MJ, she started crying, and then she goes to the roof with the necklace that he got her in Europe.
I took it as Ned, remember, displayed some use of magic in the previous film, and I thought because of that he could somehow unlock and remember, and it wasn't necessarily Jean Grey. But
I think that's interesting, James. I didn't even think about that. She might have unlocked that memory just as a thank you, even for because he knows, because the letter showed Ned and MJ as names, so it's not like she wouldn't have known who it was for Peter to connect with. So I didn't think about that, but that might be something she would have done. Yeah.
And then somebody pointed out, like, when she's drawing the picture, she's drawing his Spider-Man costume from the first movie.
Yeah. Huh.
Oh, I didn't even realize
dang.
that. It was a
I didn't
costume for the
catch
first
that.
one. Yeah.
Yep, it's not his new one. So,
You think that was Jean Grey that actually said bye to him as a little kid?
oh, I don't know.
Oh, I never thought about
Oh,
that
I
either.
was thinking,
It was
I thought
another
that was
theory.
Miles Morales, is what I was thinking. The future Miles Morales. It's like, say little
Because
fat kid.
it goes
It's
from him to her on the bus, and I was thinking like that was her way of saying, thank you and goodbye.
I was thinking in
Oh,
the same way that
maybe,
it was
yeah.
Peter Parker at the Iron Man 2, where he's like, with the Iron Man mask, and that's little Peter Parker. That's little Miles Morales we just saw over there. In 10 years from now, he's
no,
gonna be,
Miles would be
over
already
there.
a teenager by now, I think.
Yeah. With
The
that, we
time
go to
doesn't
the
make any
post-credit
sense.
scene, which, was very ambiguous. Ned developed a spider tracker app that you see throughout the movie that you can actually use on a real website, and it's interactive. And it eventually detects Spider-Man in New York, then it zooms out and it detects a new Spider-Man in space.
Secret Wars.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Secret Wars.
Nah,
100%
he just
Secret
took a
Wars.
spaceship out there. They're just laying around everywhere nowadays, right?
Or he's with the Fantastic
Venom.
Four. So,
Yeah.
but it's definitely Secret
Yeah.
Wars.
Any other thoughts, guys, before we close this out?
It's a good movie.
No.
You should watch it.
Yes, please.
Yeah, it's fun.
Go have fun.
Have
And
all
with
the
that,
funs.
we come to the finale of our Spider-Man Brand New Day review.
All right. So, with that being said, we are going to be going into our action vault. Every week, one host is randomly selected, followed by one of the greatest action stars of the 80s and 90s and early 2000s. 3 movies are randomly drawn. The chosen host picks one, and once it's chosen and reviewed, it enters the action vault forever. So, last time, Nabil drew Jean-Claude Van Damme, JCVD, and his choices were Hard Target from 1993, Lionheart from 1990, and Time Cop from 1994. And the movie that Nabil picked was 1993's Hard Target. So this movie's removed the pool, and Lionheart and Time Cop go back, so they can be chosen for future episodes. Let's go ahead and review this one.
The competitors are deadly. We pride ourselves in hunting only combat veterans, men who have the necessary skills to make our hunts more interesting.
They always win.
You want to find your father. Get somebody who knows the city to show you around.
Now, the opposition is about to get one last chance.
What kind of a name is Chance?
My mama took one. My friend Mr. Boudreaux, Silver Star, Marine Force Recon. He's obviously not someone we should underestimate.
All right. Hard Target. This came out in 1993. It has a 63% Rotten Tomato score with a 50% audience score. The very thin synopsis is a woman hires a drifter as her guide through New Orleans in search of her missing father. In the process, they discover a deadly game of cat and mouse behind his disappearance. This film was directed by John Woo, who also famously has done so many other great films. The Killer, 1989, Hard Boiled, 1992. He also did Broken Arrow in 96 and the epic Face Off in 1997. The film was written by Chuck Farrer. He also wrote Navy Seals in 1990, Darkman in 1990 as well, The Jackal in 1996, and Red Planet in 2000. The film had a budget of $19.5 million and ended with a box office of $74.2 million. I'd say a success.
Definitely.
This film was originally released again in 1993 on August 20th in theaters. This stars the muscles from Brussels, Jean-Claude Van Damme as Chance Baudru. Lance Henriksen plays Emile Fauchon. Arnold Vosloo plays Pick Van Cleef. Yancey Butler plays Natasha Binder. Casey Lemons is Detective Maria Mitchell. And good old Wilford Brimley is Uncle Clarence Duvet. So, guys, let's hear what we thought about this amazing film, Hard Target. And I'm going to start with you, Mikey. Have you actually heard the film before? Have you actually ever watched it prior to this? Is it something that you grew up watching all the time? Or is it even something that's been on your list? Like, what's your history with the movie?
So I have seen this one, I don't want to say a bunch, but I've seen it multiple times. It's not something I watched when I was a kid, though. I watched it later in life when I watched I ran across some other Jean-Claude Van Damme movies and just was like, hey, you know what? let me just watch this whole arsenal of movies here, and just popped them all in one after another for like a week straight. So I've seen it a few times. I liked it before, and I was happy that we got to see it again here. I haven't seen it in I guess it's been like 3-4 years, so it hasn't been that long, but I was happy to watch it again.
Nice. How about you, Marco? What's your history with this film?
I actually saw this movie in theaters. My dad was a huge action buff, so we would always try to go see these movies in theaters, and he was a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan also. So in turn, I was a big Jean-Claude Van Damme fan, and we went to go see this in theaters at the old Cinema 6. I've seen this maybe a couple of times. I've seen this a few times here and there. Like it'd be on TV, or sometimes you get together with friends and you just watch it and you enjoy it with some drinks. Yeah.
Okay. And James, how about yourself? What's your history with this movie?
I actually watched this like a few times when I was a kid. I remember.
Yeah.
Even not in theaters though. I was 4, so I was, like later on in life, because it was on
Sounds
TV
appropriate.
a lot.
Yeah.
I want to say like TNT played this one all the time.
Probably.
Or
Very
something, because it was
heavily
on.
edited.
Sounds right.
Yeah, it
Sounds
was on
right,
like
yeah.
a lot. I remember. So I rewatched it during COVID. I remember too, like 4 or 5 years back. So I've seen it a little more recently than the other ones that we've reviewed so far. And yeah, so that's my history. That back like 4 years ago, I was not a big fan.
So going into this, what were your expectations kind of visiting it? Were you like,
It's
looking
just
forward to it?
JCVD. I was looking forward to it just to give it another chance, because with the mindset, I was thinking of like what Marco said last time, because I was pretty harsh on The Running Man. So I was like, I gotta like go in it with like this kind of mindset of like it's a cheesy action film from the 90s with Jean-Claude Van Damme starring in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of in the same place as everybody. I did not see it in theaters like Marco, unfortunately, although I feel like that would have been a great experience. But I seen it on TV quite a bit. My dad was a big action fan as well, so I'm pretty sure I probably saw it when we had black boxes back in the day and saw it on HBO or something unedited and saw it way too graphic scenes for the age at the time. But I've seen this quite a few times in the past. I will say the one thing that still holds up compared to anything else is, man, that mullet looks so good on JCVD, guys. I don't know, with the curls, the whole thing. Like,
so wet mullet, Nabil.
Dude, it's greasy as hell the whole time.
Hey, he's in the South. It's New Orleans, so it's sweaty as hell. It's humid, so yeah, it just makes sense. Just glowing, the whole time.
Yeah, that's what it looked like last Wednesday at the Spider-Man movie.
It was weird. He even had the extensions in the back to have the mullet.
Yeah,
He did.
Yeah.
I was like, oh damn.
Hey, it's what the kids are wearing right now, guys.
I was just there just to get enough money to pay my union due so I can go back to work.
Jeez, all business in the front, party in the back. I see you.
So let's talk a little bit about the movie and whatever we think the plot really is. I'm going to go to you, Marco. So what was your actual thoughts on this film and what you think about the story?
This movie is fucking crazy, dude. There were a lot of moments when I paused this movie and I just kind of like put my head down. I was like, what the fuck is going on?
It's a good action film when you don't know what's going on. It's just action.
It's a very simple plot, right? Like finding a missing person, this Jean-Claude Van Damme's trying to help, but it's just it was wild. I thought it was wild. It was super cheesy in some scenes. I found myself having some fun with it though, because of just how ridiculous it was, and I knew it was a JCVD movie, and I knew it was going to be like just over the top, and it delivered. It was a lot more over the top than I remembered, truthfully, and I went in with expectations thinking that okay, it's going to be like I said, goofy and wild, but it surpassed that. It truly did. The action sequences were fun though. I thought there was some really good camera work with the action. You had some John Woo flair in there too, some over exaggerated kicks and punches.
Just a little bit, just a touch of John Woo flair. You really couldn't notice a lot of it, but there was a couple slow mo shots. Some doves and pigeons. Like it's just
I lost count of the pigeons and doves, dude. I just lost count. I was like, man, if I was playing a drinking game for how many times he showed a flying bird, I'd be blacked out.
So. I mean, slow-mo, you would die in the first 10 minutes.
Every scene, even the scenes that shouldn't have been slow-mo, he just had to do the long slow pause. I'm like, what?
There's one where he just turns around in slow mo. I was like, was that even necessary?
The crazy part is that it started off kind of normalish, where except for the manhunt at the beginning, but where the mummy kills a guy. But it just starts off as someone trying to help someone, and then once the action starts, it just starts to just unravel into this like ridiculous set piece after set piece.
Yeah. Well, let me go to you, James. So, what were your? We talked a little bit about the movie as a whole and a little bit of the plot, but what did you think about how this film was being shot and JCVD as well? Do you think that this is one of the few films that justifies him having a Belgian accent or a French accent, because he actually was supposed to try to play Creole a little bit over there?
I mean, it makes no sense. I saw this with my parents, actually. So, because I was like, they were wanting to watch a movie. I was like, I got to watch this one for the pod. I'm like, it's going to be hella cheesy. And honestly, me and my dad had a great time. We're laughing the whole time, pretty much. And some of the, I mean, there's some sequences that just make no sense at all. But it's shot terribly, honestly. So, it's John Woo. It's like he's a kung fu guy, Hong Kong, like big. I mean, they blow up buildings out of nowhere, and it's just like, damn, there goes the building, I guess. And I mean, JCVD has like a charisma to himself, though. Honestly,
yeah.
In this film, like he's a good-looking guy, and this is this is almost peak JCVD, not quite, but it works for this movie. It's so crazy. It makes no sense of why he's really I text you guys. I'm like, why is he behind the police line at one point looking at a body?
Because he's a silver star.
Why are they behind the squad car, and why do they get taken to an active crime scene?
Because they know the guy.
Yeah.
She's like, get in my car, we'll go. And I'm like, okay.
Like, what are they gonna do?
He was a merchant marine, I think, or some shit. I'm like,
he had a silver star, and
on the merchant marines, what was he selling fucking beans and rice to people?
They specifically mentioned the star, though. Like,
yeah, they do.
Yeah,
this guy was he was smuggling drugs and he didn't like it. Like, that's it.
So he threw him overboard and drowned him.
He's been looking for work ever since, and I'm like,
right,
dude. He shows up to the thing with, and I'm like, he ain't got a hard hat, he ain't got no tools. He's just fucking there, like he's ready. I was just like,
he's just trench coat, Canadian tuxedo, guys.
Trench coat, and a greasy haircut, and that's all. And he literally gets stopped for $217. He's like, nope, I'm sorry, man. He's like, I'll get the money by the week. So,
but that size 26 waist, man, he fits in those jeans well.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, he does more damage to the first guy he finds than the person's probably worth. I'm like, dude, you just threw a guy through a shop window. You gonna pay that guy too? Like, that guy had nothing to do with this.
That's what I was thinking too when I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, like I'm pretty sure that diner can't afford that. That town looks pretty run down.
Full blown gang fight, with machine guns and everything. One cop car. I mean. Jeez.
With a girl that barely liked the other lady at all, and she's like crying over her. I'm like, she was kind of a bitch to you.
Dude.
I'm off.
They lit up that
Can we do this tomorrow?
Dude.
Can we do this tomorrow? I was like, what? What the fuck is this, dude?
Surprised she survived that first shotgun shot, dude. It was straight belly shot. Then she gets shot in the arm, then the chest, then the arm again. She got like RoboCop in that.
But as soon as she handed the gun to JCVD, I was like, it's about to get fucking real here.
It's about to go down.
Why did she hand him the gun?
Because she knew. She's like, try.
That's it. I'm done.
And then he's dual welding. I was like, a dual weld?
I thought that was dope too.
Yeah, I was like, all right, this is pretty sick. I ain't gonna lie. So,
all right, so let's talk a little bit more about the characters in this film. We touched on the absurdness of JCVD, but we do have some villains in this film. We have Emil, who's played by Lance Henriksen, and we have Pick, who's Arnold Vosloo, who I believe that's the mummy, right? Arnold Vosloo?
It's the mummy.
Yep. Yeah, he was also in G.I. Joe, Rise of Cobra.
He was.
Oh, shit, he was.
That's right.
I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers. That's a Wilfred Brimley thing for everyone.
Yeah, also diabetes.
Diabetes.
Yeah, the diabetes guy, yeah.
I helped the Ewoks the little girl almost get off a planet.
I'm in cocoon.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. That's what it is.
So, Mikey, what did you think about our villains or Emil and Pick?
I like them.
Yeah.
I think they did a good job. I mean, Emil, he's just like that, like rich guy, kind of bad guy, kind of putting everything together, right? But Pick was like evil. He's like closing the guy's eyes with this boot and shit.
Yeah,
no, but like he's like on another level. Like he was killing people,
like
chopping people's ears off and stuff. Yeah, he's kind of And he's closing the guy's eyes.
Just to let everyone in, like we
crazy.
haven't told people what it's about. Basically, rich people hire them to hunt a man. And it's pretty much like guaranteed, like you get the kill, we'll clean it up. And they go traveling through towns for the sound of it, right?
Right.
So Emil is like the head of it, and then Pick's kind of like his right-hand man / enforcer, I guess.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
To be clear, they're killing the desperate poor guys that are just barely making ends meet. Is who they're killing.
Well, specifically veterans that have combat experience, theoretically.
Yeah, so there's a bit of a challenge to be able to fight. And the purpose behind that is they go and do this with rich people who are trying to live out their fantasies of being hard, tough guys, I guess. But they go around the world. So right now they're in the US, but last time they were in, I think, Brazil, they said, or something, and then they were going to go to Mexico City next or some shit. So they go to other places all around the world so they don't stay too long. What I think is hilarious about Emil and Pick is that things went south when the police were investigating. They were trying to get out, but for some reason, after they cut all the loose ends that knew anything about them, for some reason they felt they had to go after JCVD, who didn't really know, even up until the end of this film, didn't really know what the story was about behind those two guys until he gave them the pivotal villain monologue. So they could have just left, and he would have never found them, and they would have been fine. But
Pick actually wants him to leave. Yeah, Picky's like, hey, we got to go.
Pick
Let's
tries
just
to tell
leave.
him, let's just go. Yeah. And Emil just is like, nope.
I saw this guy ride a fucking motorcycle, surf it, and like he's like, we got to get out of here. This guy means fucking business.
Dude, that was so batshit insane. Like
the scene where she's driving, he's like, hold on, and like she's doing it, and he's shooting. My dad was like, that literally would have thrown him off that fucking bike.
And he basically throws the motorcycle, then shoots it and uses it as a freaking bomb. I'm like, oh my god,
dude!
With the car heading towards the girl's direction.
Dude, the explosion is insane for such a small tank, by the way.
Not just that. Did you guys find it weird that the shotgun just in general made explosions happen? Like it would just hit a wall and it would explode for some reason.
Because it's birdshot.
Did you think from the range too, Mikey? I'm like, shotgun don't got that kind of range. What the fuck are these guys doing, man?
It never ran out of ammo. I'm like, that's more than 5 shells, which most civilians only carry 4 shells. So 3 to 4. So you're out,
these are
bro.
Some gangsters, I guess.
Jesus.
These are
his shotgun,
Mikey.
Yeah, his shotgun was special though too. I was like, it carries 40 rounds. Okay.
It's also
real
silver.
quick. Lance Henriksen also, like, he did a phenomenal job as well too as Emile Fouchon. He hammed it up. He went full 11, and I enjoyed it. I mean,
he's a bad
had
guy in every fucking movie, isn't he?
No, not always. Sometimes he's like an ambiguous guy, or like he's in the Terminator. He's technically a good guy, I guess. Not really. And in this one now, he's the bad guy and leader, and he's carrying the mammoth pistol from Fortnite. So
this guy's a little single shot.
Yeah. I was like, is that the mammoth pistol, bro?
Any particular characters besides JCVD stand out for you, and why was it Wilford Brimley?
His accent was fucking terrible, by the way. I know it's
the
Cajun
accent.
Mix of French a little bit, but it was fucking horrendous French.
Yeah, he came to a gunfight with arrows, guys. He's ready. He's ready to mow some people down.
It made me feel like I was fluent in French. I'll tell you what stood out. Yansley Butler's Natasha Binder just tagging along. Like, they could have put her on her bus elsewhere. Just let her go.
Dude, why did he bring her along?
Yeah.
So dumb.
Yeah, I was like,
she was paying him
and why, when she finally got a
$217?
weapon, did they take it away? I'm like, what else is she gonna do, dude? She's completely useless.
I mean, she kills someone, and then Wilford Brimley's like, no, look what you do.
It's like, dude.
No, the dead body I have to take care of. I'm like, this motherfucker Jamaican? What the fuck is this, dude?
Mon Cherie.
Dude, she's terrible, though, acting, too. when she finds out her
She
dad
was.
dies, there's a close-up shot of her face. I started laughing.
She also sounds like she's got to clear her throat like all the time. I'm like, can you?
She's
please
always
clear your
about to
throat?
cry.
I'm like, clear your throat, please.
She's all got all that money too, and I was like, oh, I know what's about to happen here.
Keep out that get mugged.
Yep. He's like, you city folk need to get out of here.
Let's talk a little bit more about some of the action scenes itself. What did you guys think was one of the more? We've touched on a few of these, but was there a favorite action scene or fight for you in this movie?
Final one's fucking sick.
Yeah,
When he's coming down on the bird.
Well, he's not coming down on the board.
45 feet.
He's dropping down with the birds. But
when he's fighting off with Pick and they're shooting each other through the windows and missing every fucking shot, but yet JCVD's absolutely surgical from 20 feet away with the goddamn shotgun. And I'm like,
right.
Okay.
I gotta mention too, man. Just jacked in that scene, bro. He takes his shirt off finally. Dude, his arms are huge. I was like, Jesus fucking Christ, dude. He's just sweating. It just fucking fires everywhere.
He looks at the camera. He's like, I fought in Bison.
No one's mentioned the snake yet, by the way. He knocks out the snake and then uses it as a trap.
It just punches him. It's just not
No, he first grabs it. He slaps it first, then he punches it.
The fucking slap, dude. I'm like, what?
just to tell him to calm down. He's like, then he bites off the rattler. I'm like, I think you killed it if you do that, actually.
Yeah. So, too.
Because when he takes it off, I'm like, I think that kills them. So I was like, I don't know if he would still be able to bite someone.
I don't think he can regrow that. So
No.
Any quotes or one-liners that stood out for you? I know there's one for James.
I mean, outside of like Wilford Brimley's fucking over the top shit, but
Yeah, I don't think there was a lot of.
over.
I don't think there was the season's over. Yeah,
yeah,
I don't think there was a
that's
lot
one.
of one-liners in the same way, but you know, he also didn't really talk that much anyway. So
I mean, he
That's
talks a
pretty typical,
decent
right?
amount, though. I would say. I mean,
More
he
than his
he
other
says
movies.
something.
I feel like.
Yeah. I mean, he tells her
at
like
least
because
earlier
her name's Nat, right? I think that was dumb. He's like, your parents named you after a bug,
yeah,
and then he's
Ain't
always
that
like,
smart,
he's like,
James?
what happened to your papa? Shit like that. I'm like, okay.
And
Did you
then
notice
when
he's
she-
winking a lot too?
yeah. He's leaning in and out of that accent a little bit. He's not exactly sure.
He's
how
winking
to
a lot,
be
Mikey. That's probably from the cocaine.
No, but yeah, like just all the time he's winking at the girl. I'm like, what is going on right now? Like, why is he winking? It's so crazy.
Lots of kicks,
So-
man. He's showing off his, he's
Yeah.
known for those kicks, and he's
lot of
fucking showing them
fun
off, bro.
roundhouse kicks. Yeah,
And they're all
Yeah,
slow mo
I mean-
too.
Impressive too, honestly. So
No,
like, there's no
splits, though.
doubting this dude's a great martial artist. Like I'm not,
all right.
an action star. Like shit shows,
And what about from a direction standpoint? Like the film was set in the it was made in the 90s, so there's a lot of practical effects as well as. I don't know if there really was too many CGI scenes, but there might have been a couple. Do you guys think what we saw or still stands up to today? And being that John Woo's the director, does this feel like a traditional Hollywood action film from the 90s that we're kind of, watching around here, or does it feel more Hong Kong?
Felt more Hollywood action to me, honestly.
Yeah.
Like it felt of that era. Like this reminds me of early '90s action films.
The practical effects still stand, especially
I
the
don't think-
explosion.
I don't think there are CG. Was there CG? I don't think there was.
I can't think of anything that would be CG. Maybe the ear, but they don't even show the ear that much.
The
Yeah, but
ears is a makeup
some
effect. You can clearly tell.
Special effects, yeah. But not
Chef's
computer, I don't think.
kiss when Wilford Brimley is just riding off with the horse and the explosion behind him.
Nice shot. Actually, it is a nice shot though. That is, I will say that. As much as I said it wasn't shot well, like
It has
knew
the
what he was
movie has
going
its
for.
moments.
yeah,
The
no,
helicopter
definitely.
with the horse, right? I think that's kind of cool. That's kind of
I
cool.
mean,
shot.
clearly with set explosions, by the way,
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
where they're shooting at it. I'm like, they're just letting charges go off. I'm like, that's not how that would look at all.
Speaking of the helicopter, Mikey, I love how Pick also points out how the movie could have ended. He was like, we can shoot him from the air.
Yeah.
And Emil's like, nah, I don't want to do it that way. And Pick's like,
He goes,
why?
he goes, Dr. Evil. It's my freaking rules, okay?
Basically.
Yeah, straight up tells him like I can take it. I was like, you better not. I'm like, just do it. I don't think he would fucking know.
Yeah, the most thing he'd be pissed off. That's it.
Yeah, then you get away scot free.
do it and
Pack
move
it
on to
up.
the next thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
go
he
to
doing it because
Europe
he's
or
greedy
wherever the
though?
heck-
I just thought about that because he has
I thought it
the
was
4 or
pride.
5 people that comes around that had paid him to kill this guy, right? And so maybe he's just doing it
No, I
because
was
he
thinking-
wanted extra money. That's the only thing
I was
really
thinking
think
same thing as Nabil, like ego, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think he was calling those other guys as a favor. I don't know if they were paying him for that hunt.
No,
'Cause
they were
seemed
paying
to
him.
come out-
They
Oh,
were
were
Yeah,
they?
paying
because he
him.
says they'll get it for
They
free
said
if
they
they
came
kill
out of
him.
nowhere. Oh.
Yeah, but if they kill him, they get it for free. It's and then he averaged it up to $750,000.
And they all died.
Yeah,
One of a
terribly
snake bite.
Yeah, terribly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he shoots him with the mammoth pistol.
So, So as far as JCVD films are concerned, what do you guys think this ranks as in his career? Do you think it's one of his upper echelon films, or for a JCVD film, I should say, or do we think this is kind of mid? Any thoughts? Anybody want to share what they think about the ranking of this film in JCVD?
I mean, it's in his top 10 movies, probably.
Well, he's probably
Like
done 10 films.
lower, like
Lower
10,
end.
6 through 10,
Yeah.
mid to lower end. But I mean, he's done a lot of fucking movies. So
Yeah. I honestly would say this is one of his better ones. I'd personally put this probably in the top 5 of JCVD 90s, 80s action films. Mostly because of not necessarily the plot, but the action scenes are so memorable to me. Like, as soon as we started seeing him fight, like not just the beginning with the whatever guy, but like when the shootout happens and everything near the end, like all that was very memorable to me. It's like, this is why I like this film, because it's just ridiculous and he's just kicking ass everywhere. Like that's the roundhouse kicks. It's all kicks too. Like he's not punching everybody.
It's because it's the mullet. I get it, dude.
It is. It's a sexy mullet, guys, and it's perm.
Wet mullet, dude.
It's two things.
Just flowing in the air, especially when he was surfing that motorcycle, like James said. I was dying. I rewound that like 3 times. I was
Dude, he's like this. He's like
dying.
There's Timberlands
No,
on.
but actually, like thinking about what Nabil said just now, it's like I actually like thinking about it, movies and stuff. I feel like this does have a lot of like standout scenes. Like just the ridiculous we've been talking about it right the whole time, but they make you remember the movie. And I can't say that about some of the other
favorite
movies.
one. I just remember my favorite one, Nabil. It's when he does the flip through the fire.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so unnecessary. I
Why
literally
did he even do that?
me and my dad looked at each other and started laughing because I was like, why did he flip through the fire?
Because he can, James. That's
No,
why.
and that's basically it, just to show off like I'm athletic. Like, because if anything, I'm like super unnecessary. I'm like, I don't know why you did that.
He could have just got blasted and pushed back, but no. He had to
No.
jump through like that.
I had to
Yeah,
pause it
straight up.
multiple times. Oh my god.
So do you think, based off of all this, do you think people should watch this film? Is it something worth revisiting?
I think if you're into 90s action film, or if you're a fan of JCVD, I don't know if like kids would like this one. Like if you didn't know who he was and how big of
Yeah.
a deal he was in the 90s.
Right.
Unless you raised them like on some action films and stuff, and have watched it with, like I've watched them with Zan. Like we watched Predator and
Yeah. I would say
Cobra
this
and a
one's
few other.
This one's pretty. There's not even a sex scene in this movie.
Well, that's
I don't
John
like
Woo,
that.
though. He doesn't have a lot of like sex scenes. He's more focused on the
The action is the sex.
action.
So.
Yeah, I mean,
You're right. I'm sorry.
you're right about that, buddy. I think this is one of, and I could be wrong, but I think this is also one of John Woo's first Hollywood films. He's done a bunch of, if it's not his first, it's definitely very early on where he started doing Hollywood films, because those Hard Boiled films and Killer were all Chinese, Hong Kong films. So I think this was one of his first, like his foray into
This
Hollywood
is
action.
his first Hollywood film.
It's the first one, right? Okay, I was thinking maybe it was his first one. So I also think that changes things a bit around too, where I think he has more freedom in his budget compared to what he was doing with his Hong Kong action films, that he probably did take a little bit more liberties, like we saw in the slow-mos and the ridiculous action things, and the script was really nothing for him. It's just, the driver to get to the next fight scene.
This was
But,
actually the first Hollywood film directed by a Chinese man.
Oh, look at that.
So, I did a little research.
Okay. That's
John Woo
actually pretty
breaking down barriers. So I think that also is something just as a noteworthy thing for me to say, like, people should watch this, just to see like this style of movie where people remember it as like, Chow Yun-fat, Jet Li, or Jackie Chan films back in the 70s and 80s, to now seeing a director from that period bring in a film to Hollywood that is a very interesting way that he tried to do this. And then they brought a non-traditional American, like not American, but Hollywood actor to lead it as well. So
especially that scene where Marco's talking about where Pick and him are shooting at each other with it. That's like straight out of like Hard Boiled, dude. That's such like a John Woo staple. Like the two guns are just fucking going at it. I think that seems sick. So
all right, so let's go into let's just talk about the overall ratings and what we thought about this film, and if we think it's worthy of entering the action vault. Basically, they're just saying that does it deserve to be remembered as one of the great action films of our time. So let's start with you, Mikey. What did you rate this, and do you think it's worthy of the action vault?
I give this one 3.5. I had fun with this one. I liked it. I've seen it a bunch of times, so I knew I would be already liking it, but it definitely is worthy of the action vault, in my opinion. Crazy action, over the top, fun, cheesy. Can't go wrong.
How about you, Marco?
I also give it 3.5 stars just because it, it was fun. It made me laugh. It's over the top ridiculous. Like you guys said, it's, absolute action muscle movie. And yeah, I think it's going in the vault, man.
And James?
I gave it 3.5 stars. And yes, it is vault worthy. I've had a lot of fun with this one.
Same, 3.5 stars on my end, and definitely vault worthy. I think that this film is exactly what action was back in the 80s and 90s, what we were looking for these macho men to be. This represents all of that. Well, that means the vault has spoken, and this film is vault worthy and will be staying or entering the action vault.
Which our official count as of right now, we have Soldier with Kurt Russell in there, chosen by Marco, and Hard Target now is the second film with Jean-Claude Van Damme, picked by Nabil. Good job. So before we make our pick, we do a little section here called the loadout. You're going into battle. You can only take one thing from this movie. What is it going to be? Nabil, since this was your choice, what are you taking from Hard Target?
I'm going to take the outfit, that Canadian tuxedo, but it has to be coupled with a perm mullet, though. Otherwise, it doesn't work. So that whole...
And that's two things, technically, but okay. I mean, the drip, basically. The drip.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. What about you, Marco?
The snake, of course.
Awesome. With or without the fucking rattler, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, are you trying to be stealthy or not? You got to bat it on the head first, too. Remember?
Yeah, you have to. It's a show that you're the alpha. Then you do it. Yeah. Mikey, what about you?
There was one thing right in the beginning of the movie where this guy had like a sniper rifle that shot an arrow, and I thought it was really unique. So that would be my choice. I'm gonna go with that one.
Yeah, and the close-up shot of it every single time.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, John Woo thought it was dope too because he made that the opening of his title sequence, the Hard Target, where you saw the arrow go through for some reason. So,
shoot,
no,
right.
You are right. Yeah, true. Mine would be the ability to surf that motorcycle. That's one. He literally surfs it. Have you ever seen it?
Just take the whole motorcycle. It's the James Mobile.
Yeah.
It could be that or the police car that gets shot up 1,000 times.
Oh, gosh.
So that wraps up our review of Hard Target. Now it's time to open the action vault with our last host here who has not picked yet. So obviously I'm going to tell you right now, it's got to be Mikey. Just spoiler. Because he's the only one that hasn't gone.
Really? Whoa.
So I just spun it here. We do this live so we get a live reaction. The action star that Mikey has gotten is Sylvester Stallone.
Nice.
And his 3 movies are going to be 1989's Lockup, 1994's The Specialist, and 1993's Demolition Man.
Ooh.
So the choice has been made, but you'll have to tune in to next week to find out what entered the Action Vault. And with that wraps up episode 230 of the Movie Pals podcast. Marco, let everyone know how they can keep up with us.
You can find us on every major podcast platform, so follow and listen wherever you like. For links to all our socials and more, head over to linktree/moviepalspod. That's linktr.ee/moviepalspod. So don't forget to Hulk smash that subscribe button and spider sling into our next episode.
And check us out on TikTok at Movie Pals Pod for sneak peeks, quick takes, and behind-the-scene clips.
And coming up next, episode number 231, where we will be reviewing Mikey's Action Vault movie pick, as well as the new film, The End of Oak Street.
Thank you. And if you enjoyed this episode, drop us a rating and share it with a friend. It helps us out a ton. Thank you for listening. This is the Movie Pals signing out.